we're taught as a community that saving is the way to financial freedom. And while that is true, the way we are saving is keeping us broke. So today, I'm going to go over what $50 invested a month looks like when you do it in Bitcoin versus when you do it in the US dollar. And I'm going to reveal how it looks in 10 years and what the difference in the numbers are. And I will tell you that the numbers are very, very different. Okay, so definitely stick around for that. But before I go into all of this, welcome to Black to Bitcoin, where I explore the wealth gap and how Bitcoin is a solution to our problems. So if you're into anything about the Black experience, how we can build our wealth, make sure you subscribe to the channel, give the video a like, and share, because we do need to get the word out. All right? So the first thing I want to do is give you the way you should be looking at this. All right? Bitcoin is money. You are not trading your dollars for crypto, for stocks, for a regular investment or asset. Bitcoin is actual currency. So what you're doing when you invest in Bitcoin is trading one currency for another currency. A better currency, to say, just to be clear. So you have to look at it that way and understand that. And once you really get the point that Bitcoin is actual money, it makes it a lot easier to understand why it's so amazing. Okay, so I just want to say that first, because if I don't say that, none of the stuff I'm about to say really will hit, because you're looking at it like a stock or some kind of regular investment. You're trading one money for another money. All right, so now that that's said, I'm going to go through my points, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about the US dollar first and how saving looks like when you're doing that. Then I'm going to go into Bitcoin, and then I'm going to go into the numbers. All right? So first, let's talk, and yes, I have my notes, okay? First, let's talk about the dollar. All right? The dollar is designed to lose money. It's printed every day, all day, and because it is printed so easily, its value is diluted very easily. All right, so it causes inflation. Inflation year to year is 2 to 3% according to them, but in the end it's a lot higher, and you're basically having or holding on to a dollar, which is a currency that is losing money over time. So your groceries, your gas, everything in between becomes more expensive. So you're not really saving, you're actually losing money. Okay? Now, I think that's all I have for that. Oh no, the only other thing I have is that if you do want to look at investments and assets, everything other than Bitcoin is priced in dollars. So if you're losing money in dollars, you're losing money in all your other investments. Not saying they don't appreciate or that they don't go up in value, but because they're going to be priced in dollars, they're not going to appreciate as much as Bitcoin will, because Bitcoin does not go down in value. And now that I've said that, let's go ahead and get into Bitcoin. Now, the reason Bitcoin rises in value is mostly due to the fact that it is scarce. Okay? Unlike the dollar that is printed all the time, it is the opposite with Bitcoin. It's already set what it's going to be. Okay? 21 million of them, that's it. Over time, doesn't matter, if somebody wants some more, if, the world is going to shit and the government thinks that we need some more of it, doesn't matter. There's 21 million of them. All right? People who have it are going to be the people who have it. And the people who have it are going to be the ones in power. And just to give you the numbers, since I gave you the inflation numbers, the inflation on the good end of Bitcoin is that over the last 5 years, it has gone up 65% year to year. Okay? That is a huge percentage. All right? And when you look at something like that and you just think of the numbers, it wouldn't even matter if it was any positive number in percentage, because the fact that you're losing money in the dollar means anything would be better, but you're not looking at anything. you're looking at Bitcoin, which is a lot more than it staying even. You're getting an asset that goes up in value immensely over time. All right? And I think that's all I have for that. I just be getting to the point. Okay? I just be getting to the point. So yes, I think that is all that I have about that. Yes. And now I'm going to go over the numbers, which is the most unique and important part. We want to know what the numbers are talking about. All right? So, like I said, and I have notes here for sure because I have to get the numbers right, okay? $50 a month is what we're talking about. All right? We're talking about $50 a month over 10 years. All right? 10 years is not that long from now. Okay? 10 years is nothing. So if you invested $50 a month in your savings with no yield or anything, that's the other thing. If you have a little yield, it's going to be higher. I should have did that with a yield just to still show you how different it is. But anyway, I'm going to go with just what the money's worth. So you would have saved $6,000, all right, over the 10 years. But that's only in the visual money and what it looks like. Because after inflation, you would only have $4,500 to $5,000 in the modern time. Okay, so you're looking at, you actually lost a lot of money by having the cash. All right, let's talk about Bitcoin. Now, I put the 65% number out there, but we're going to pretend that it has not gone up 65%. Okay? We're going to talk about a much lower percent, which might be a little bit more likely because, the ebbs and flow, but in 10 years, it might be on the higher end. But we're going to start with the lower end, and I'm going to give you the numbers, okay? So, if Bitcoin only appreciates with a 20% growth, you're looking at that $50 a month turning into $19,000. That's 20%. At 30%, you're looking at $36,000. At 40%, you're looking at $75,000. 50%, $160,000. And 60%, $345,000. I think that's 345. Yeah, $345,000. You are investing $50 a month. $50 a month, which I'm not going to say is nothing because a lot of people don't even have that. But imagine even putting a lot less than that in, how much more money you would have. So as opposed to having $4,500 to $6,000, well, $4,500 to $5,000, and let's just say you did have a yield, I can't imagine it would be more than 10,000, probably still way less than that. You still would be double or more with Bitcoin, and that's at the lowest growth rate. All right, so when you think of those numbers, there's no way to argue that Bitcoin is the better investment. So with that, I implore you to think about what you want for your future and how you want your money to show up for you, because that's a big difference. Okay? Now, I'm done. Hope you found the video helpful. As I always say, don't invest in anything that you don't understand. So learn about Bitcoin. I think once you learn just a little bit, it will make it a very easy decision for you, but you definitely should learn about it. And as I say, the Bitcoin Standard book is a great way to do that. It really explains money and how Bitcoin is different from all the other monies and currencies. All right, so that's it. Hope you're having a great day. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to share. Don't forget to like the video. And other than that, have a good day. I will talk to you soon. Bye.